Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
I'm from Brisbane, Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you visiting Japan?
Yeah, I'm just visiting.
It's first time, right, to come to Japan?
Yeah, it's my first time in Japan.
Okay. So what made you to come to Japan?
I mean, I've always been interested in it. I have a friend who is from Japan, and she's studying in Brisbane currently, where I live, and she's also back here currently. So she's in Nagoya at the moment, so we're hoping we can meet up sometime. But otherwise, I mean, the people were so friendly, everybody's so polite and helpful. Yeah, I guess I've just always sort of been interested in it. And I like food, you know, you guys have excellent food. So that's kind of the driving force. Anime, everything, you know, the whole culture.
Okay. And interaction with actually Japanese person made you interested in that?
Yes, absolutely. I wanted to see if everybody was like that, you know, and they seem to be. Everybody's very friendly, reasonably approachable. As long as you're polite, then they're happy to be polite back.
Yeah. So I want to ask about impression of Japan you got here. So far, what kind of impression did you get here?
Well, when I got off the plane, immediately I was overwhelmed by the amount of people, and everything's just so organized. There's all the times are right on the trains and the buses, and if you miss one, there's another one immediately. Everything's so, you know, regimented, I would say.
Regimented.
Yeah, but in a good way, not strict or stiff.
So that is your impression of Japan, but like, was there something like you are surprised at, or some culture difference you found in Japan?
I think the same thing. The organization of everything. It's like in Australia, it's quite lazy, and the fact that everything's just so go here kind of took me for a ride, you know. And everybody's so fashionable, which I really like. Fashionable, yeah. How do I say fuku something? Fuku for fashion.
Fuku means clothes.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody's clothes are excellent. I feel out of place in my Kmart shorts and my dingy grey shirt, but it's enough for walking around in. But no, I don't know. I don't think I was too shocked coming here. I feel like I knew what to expect from what I heard. Maybe I thought there'd be more groups of salarymen walking around at night.
Group of salarymen.
Yeah. Going out to the izakayas and getting drunk. I haven't seen too much of that.
So but that is kind of like your image. Before.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I thought I would see. But no, mostly I've encountered American tourists.
Other than like picturing salarymen, group of salarymen, what kind of image did you have before coming here?
Sort of like a cyberpunk vibe. Yeah. Like very Harajuku. You know, like everybody's very well dressed and interestingly dressed. Everything happens really fast. Everybody's smoking cigarettes. I mean, I'm smoking cigarettes.
Smoking cigarettes.
That's what I thought.
Was image of Japan?
Yeah.
Okay. What made you to have that image?
I don't really know. I guess maybe media that I've been exposed to. Yeah.
Sometimes like Asian people said to be smoke.
That's probably it. Yeah, but I'm a smoker myself. I asked the convenience store over there, where can I smoke in the park? They go, no.
Do you smoke in Australia?
Yes.
I heard that cigarette in Australia is very, very expensive.
It's very expensive. 10 times the amount. You buy one of these, 60 Australian dollars. I bought this here, 6 Australian dollars. 10 times the amount.
Okay.
It's absurd. It's absurd. So I will happily smoke myself silly here, and then I quit when I go home.
Other than that, did you find some difference between Australia and Japan?
The cafe culture is an interesting one. The variety of coffee is much more broad and...
In Australia?
Yes. And here it seems... I mean, there's a few blends in places with single origins, but it's not as full on as it could be at home. It's not a bad thing. I think our coffee culture is oversaturated. In fact, like there's too much going on.
And it starts earlier, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, everything in Australia opens up early. We're all early risers. Everything could be open at like 6. I think some coffee shops even open at 5 a.m. But then I come here, that's the culture shop, and everything opens at 10 a.m. So I just took myself for a little walk around and the empty streets because nobody's around before 8 o'clock.
Do Australian people like wake up early?
Yes. Everybody's out walking their dogs, getting coffees with their friends, so going for runs, 5:30 a.m. You know, everybody's out getting up before work to go do their stuff out and about, and then they go do their job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they start earlier.
Yes.
Australia.
So that's, I suppose, where the coffee culture hangout is too. Yeah, everything starts up really early and finishes early too. Everything closes quite early. I've noticed here things go on till late in the night, which is good.
So do restaurants close earlier?
They do. Generally things close around probably 9 at the latest. And here I haven't seen a place close.
So don't you have like a drinking culture, like Sauriman's drinking?
Yes, Australian drinking culture. We love our beers.
Not at bar? Like
No, most house parties are quite common, I would say, in Australia. And binge drinking. We drink a lot. Do you know wine in a sack? So it's like a big foil bladder of cheap wine. It's like 5 liters of wine. You get it really cheap. We call it goon. And all the young ones drink it because it's cheap and it will get you ruined.
Okay.
But it's like the sake you can buy really cheap. Or the strong zeros, but worse. Strong zero actually tastes nice. This stuff, yeah. This stuff doesn't actually taste good, but they drink it because it's cheap. So we don't really mind that. But yeah, we all love to get on the piss.
Okay, and you usually drink at home, not at bar.
We sometimes say knockoff drink culture is quite big. Knockoff drinks. So when you knock off work, when you finish work, most people go for drinks, especially in my industry, the hospitality industry. You finish work at a bar, you go to another one, and then you drink, and then you go home.
Do you drink on the street? Can you do that?
No, it's illegal to drink on the street.
Illegal?
Yes. Yeah, you will get fined. Your alcohol will get tipped out by a policeman, and you will get fined. I know that you can do it here.
Yeah, we can do it here, but it's becoming like problem now.
Ah, yes, I noticed.
Yeah,
I walked through Kabukicho just last night, and there were people sitting there hunched over themselves, all sad looking. Yeah.
So in some areas, city government start to restrict.
Right. Well, I think that's a positive thing. You know, I mean, of course, people have the freedom to do whatever they want, but it's about the environment for everybody else as well, and the image of Japan. I'm sure people don't really want a bunch of slumped over teenagers sitting in the street being that ideal, you know?
Okay. So what are you looking for
I am looking
your trip?
To fill my belly with delicious ramen, all sorts of food. Looking forward to eating, looking forward to some cooler weather, and just being out in this element by myself. I came to Japan alone, just to sort of be my own guy. You know, there's no responsibility of anyone else, no accountability for anybody else. And I think this is my first time traveling alone as well. So I think that's mostly to see what I'm made of. You know what I'm saying?
To find yourself.
Yeah, I guess so, in a sense. I mean, I like to think that I'm mindful, but you can't say that without you know, it doesn't sound humble. But I think finding myself. Especially after COVID. I spent a long time sitting at home, a couple years, not really going out doing much, not really seeing my friends. And I feel like getting out of my comfort zone by doing this is going to kick it back in. And I already feel it.
You cannot help being mindful.
Yeah.
Already.
Exactly.
I see. Okay. It was very nice to talk with you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
I'm from Paris, France.
So, are you visiting now?
Yes, I'm visiting. I've been here for 3 days now, and now I'm in Tokyo, and tomorrow I'm going to Kyoto. Kyoto.
Okay. So, is it first time to come to Japan?
Yes, it's my first time coming to Japan, and also my first time coming to Asia.
Okay, so firstly, what brought you to Japan?
Because we know some friends who went to Japan, and they told us that it was a really different city, different mentalities. So they say it was a really interesting country to visit. You know, lots of cultural differences also. Lots of people say it's really interesting to go to Japan to see the difference, because Japanese are known to be well-mannered, you know. So that's why we decided to come, and also apparently the food's really different. So we wanted to try something different from normally. So the people are really different because like I said, I'm from Paris, and Parisians are really rude, really stressed, you know. They don't respect the rules, you know. They're really egocentric. For example, when you cross the streets, Japanese people will wait until it's green, even though there is no cars, you know. But in France, if the sign is red, if there's no cars and if they're in a real hurry, they don't care. They will cross, you know. And sometimes they will even cross when there's a car and they will just like be, oops, excuse me. But in Japan, people are really respectful to these rules. So yes, I think it's really different and it's really appreciable to see some people who like respect the rules. That's a big first change. So even if it's like a small thing, I mean, I think it tells us about the difference of mentality.
Okay. You mentioned that French people are rude, but like, is it about like Parisian people or like entire French people?
It's mostly Parisian people.
Parisian people.
But also French. I know they don't have like a good reputation abroad. Mainly Parisian people are rude because like they're really stressed. They're in a hurry. You know, they don't have time like to chat. Don't have time to wait for the signs. You know, they're just crossing the streets. So yeah, mostly Parisians because of the stress, the work, stressed people. So a bit rude.
But they are like good people, aren't they?
Ah yes, they're good people. Of course, no, people are not horrible. It's just that. You know, sometimes if you'll ask for a direction in the street, like people, they will like, no, I don't have time for this. Like, I have to go. But of course, people are really nice. You can meet nice people, but most of the time, people are a bit stressed. But we're not horrible. We're fine. You can meet nice people.
What do you think are the good parts of Parisian people?
I'd say a nice sense of style. You know, like style. Like Parisians are really chic, really elegant. So I'd say that's one positive point. I'd say the good food. Parisian people, like you know, they eat well. You know, they're really into like I don't know, like good food also.
They have good taste.
Yeah, they have good taste. Good taste of food, good taste of clothing.
So like we talked about people, but other than that, in terms of what did you find the difference between France and Japan?
Okay, so what I found difference is that like in France, for example, you can park everywhere on the streets, you know, like everywhere, like you in a street and there will be like tons of cars like on the side. And you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to park everywhere, not have like money to pay, it's just you're allowed. But sometimes you have to pay like to allow to park in the street. But in Japan, nobody parks in the streets. Like everybody has a parking. So I think that's really nice because you know there aren't always like cars everywhere. It's really clean. So that's like one big difference I've noticed about like Paris and Japan. I mean France and Japan because it's the same in France everywhere. Like everyone parks everywhere.
Okay. So you like coming to Japan, you see like no cars on the street.
I was surprised. Oh, also there are no trash. Like for example, if you have like a bottle yesterday, like I mean it was really difficult like to find like somewhere to like put like the bottle, you know, like there are no trash, like you cannot like garbage the trash can. In Paris we have lots of trash cans like to put the dirt, but I think like because Japan is really clean you don't need to put dirt anywhere, so we were a bit surprised because we were like in big city but no trash, nowhere to put it. So that's one big difference also.
Okay.
So really clean, you know, no cars, no trash. So yeah.
So what about food? Like, did you get some weird food in Japan? Like, you were surprised at?
Yes, I was surprised by lots of things. Like, for example, ramen. Like, you know, I thought like the pastas were good, but I don't know. Like, I think like in Japanese food there is like a weird taste. I don't know how to say it, but I was a bit disappointed sometimes by the food because you know yes, it was like weird taste. I don't know how to explain. Also tea, I was surprised by tea because we use like we have lot of tea in France, but most of the time it's tasty, you know. And like in Japan, like I think like the tea is I mean I think it's not really good. Like I was surprised by it. I thought it was like a bit weird.
About what wasn't you satisfied with their tea?
Just the taste. You know, I thought it was like a bit sweet, and like I think like the smell is, I don't know, like it's just I think it's weird. Like I didn't like it.
What about like Japanese tea? Did you try like green tea or matcha?
Ah yes, I've tried matcha. Matcha is good. I mean, I think it's like the best I found so far. So like matcha is good. Yes, I tasted matcha in a gastronomic restaurant.
You mentioned some food you didn't like, but what food did you like here?
Oh, I liked gyoza.
Gyoza.
I think it's really good.
Smell was good, fine.
The smell was fine and the taste also was fine. And also I tried a fried chicken. Rice is really good also.
Just like white
rice.
Yeah,
with rice. It was Japanese rice. Tempura also is good.
Tempura. So you found like a lot of like good things too.
Yeah, I find good things. Even if I didn't like the noodles and the tea, like gyoza, tempura, and fried chicken was really good.
Okay. So lastly, if someone who are considering to come to Japan watch this video, what kind of message do you want to give them?
I want to give them that I think that you should come to Japan because like I said, like people are really respectful. I think it's it's cleaner. I think it changes a lot when you're like from a big city. Even though Tokyo is really big, I think it's more zen. Less stressful, really different country, but amazing country and surprising country. Yes.
Okay. So it was very nice to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。いかがだったでしょうか？動画のご感想やテーマのご要望などコメント欄で教えていただけますと幸いです。たくさんのコメントお待ちしております。チャンネル登録の際は通知ボタンもお忘れなく。